Hello and welcome. Now this is going to be quite a bit of a a tit for tat kind of negative overview and things. Okay, so if you don't like a lot of negative comments and things, check out one of my other videos. You know the rest of them are quite upbeat. Okay, this is kind of a name and shame video, following off from my meeting and surpassing my expectations video of knives. This is kind of a name of shame. Okay, now these knives that I'm going to feature didn't really hit my expectations. Not really. Not for the and that's probably due to the price I paid for them. Okay, now if I did live in America, where these knives are cheaper, then they probably would meet my expectations. Okay, but they're pretty expensive over here, and that's probably one of the reasons why they didn't. Okay, it's all about value for money, isn't it? That's one of the big contributing factors. But don't worry, if I'm going to be negative about any of these knives and the companies, I will explain. I will explain my reasons. I'll even compare them to other knives, and hopefully that will back up my reasons. Okay, now I don't hate these companies or anything like that. I've bought many knives from them. You can see all of my other knife reviews. Okay, and that also backs that statement up. Okay, so I don't like them. I don't not like them. But I just feel that these knives in particular didn't quite hit the spot for me. Okay, we'll start off here with the SOG. Now I do have a fixed blade SOG, a SOG Jungle Primitive. Okay, £50. That did almost meet my expectations. Okay, it's a big hunk of a chunk fixed blade knife, and yeah, it was quite okay value for money. All right, I will do a fixed blade meeting expectations knife overview at some point. But I don't think I'm that qualified to do one as of yet, because I don't have that many fixed blade knives. Whereas folding knives, yeah, I've got plenty. So anyway, back to the SOG. This is the SOG Micron, okay, with the Tanto blade shape. Blunt as anything. Came in one of those horrible plastic packs. Yeah, it's made in China. It's just too thin. You can't get enough purchase on it. There's silly jimping on the top there, which serves no purpose. Tanto blade shape is cool though, but yeah, it just came dull. I question that little pivot kind of screw thing there. Okay, I do question that. And for this, one of these costs £15 over here. £15, that's a lot of money. On minimum wage, that's what, two and a bit hours, something like that, for this. Nah, SOG, you need to sort it out, okay? Change your pricing or something, because that's just way overpriced for what it is, okay? Probably just so that you can pay some kind of designer for designing this thing, and you got hung up over it. But you know, I don't want to be too negative, and I don't want to point a finger. But for your money, well, you can get two of these. And I've got a comparison video out, find out the reasons why really, but yeah, this SOG, it just didn't meet my expectations at all. My expectations weren't that high anyway in the first instance, but everything about it just feels like I could just break it. Okay, and yeah, so sorry, that's one big negative so far. Okay, so if you think about getting one of these, £15, a lot of money. Well, I hope I've just saved you some money. So there you go, that's that one. And I know people already spotted it right at the beginning of the video, and I know a lot of people are going to get a bit rear hurt about it, but I'm afraid, yeah, this is a case knife, and yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of case knife collectors, and yeah, they have a rich heritage and things like that. And there's not an awful lot of bad things to say about this knife. I mean, if you look at the stoppers, yeah, they've got markings on, and when I first bought this knife, it was all clean, and you know, I haven't really done anything. I haven't thrown it in mud or anything, but they've got these markings on, which I'm just assuming is just oxidization or something like that. So maybe they will change colour. Maybe it will evolve. I don't know. But there we go. One of these over here is about 50 something pounds for a toothpick, knife shape and things. But well, yeah, knife. And I just think 50 odd pounds for one of these. Yeah, the blade steel is quite decent. It came very sharp, and I'm sure they work really hard in America, but this just didn't meet my expectations. Not for that price. I was expecting my socks to shoot off, really, and that didn't give me the effect, unfortunately. But yeah, nothing really bad about this knife, about the build quality and things. It's all there. It's just on the money aspect, it just didn't quite meet it. Okay, not when you can compare this case knife with this Columbia River knife and tool knife, which is very, very similar. And some people might say, oh, you can't compare case knives with CRKT. Well, I just have, okay? They both cut. Yeah, the case knife might have better blade steel, but build quality and things, you really can't tell, okay? That just goes to show how good CRKT are now with their quality control. But I know with case knives you're paying for the collectors and things like that, but is it really worth double the price? I'll leave that in your hands, really. I'll leave that in your hands. But for me, that just didn't quite meet my expectations. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Now this Trance 42 is the same price as a Spyderco UK PK, UK penknife. Same price. Well, actually, I think it's a little bit more. I think it's like £1 more. But for me, this flip thing, other than the choil guard, was a bit, yeah, a bit on it. Well, just didn't. You can't really use it. I mean, it's good there as a guard, but for me, this just didn't meet my expectations. I know Stefan, German knife reviewer and Expedition kind of reviewer, he had problems with his quality control for these holes. Mine didn't. However, mine did develop rust. You can see it, and you can see it there, and you can see it along there. I didn't go fishing in the sea with this, okay, and I don't just leave my knives in a bucket of water overnight. So I'd like to know how, please. It is OS 8, but I think Böker Plus have bead blasted it, which have kind of opened the pores up. Not something you really want to do with OS 8. I mean, I'm no expert, I don't make knives, but for a knife that's not got very high kind of rust resistance, I certainly wouldn't bead blast this. And this kind of leads me on to the next point I make. Okay, so somehow this has developed rust after I've bought it. Okay, and like I say, it hasn't been in a moist environment, it hasn't been in the sauna with me, it's just developed rust spots, and I've put the water displacement on it and cleaned it up. That wouldn't get rid of it, and then I've really oiled it on, put a few layers of oil on it to keep it, you know, kind of as moisture resistant as possible. So I may do a progress update on that, but bead blasted OS 8, something to think about. Okay, but for me, that didn't meet my expectations. At first, it kind of did. It's quite fun, good blade shape, Chad Los Banos design, and all the rest of it. But over time, that expectation slumped. Okay, and I'm sorry, but I certainly wouldn't buy another one of these again. Just on those facts, okay, because of the rust issues. Alright, none of my other knives have rusted, and I've kept them in the same place as this one. So it may just be my particular knife, it may just be that model or that batch. Who knows? It happened, it's affected my decision on future knives from them. Okay, but I do have other Bökers and they're fine. So just a small point. Now this is the This leads me on to the Kershaw issue side of things. Most Kershaw knives, I'm sorry to say Kershaw, you very rarely surpassed my expectations, let alone met them. I'm sorry to say that. There must be other people in the same boat, and it might be because, I mean, people may say, okay, Spyderco fanboy. Well, actually, no. I know what I like, and I expect to get what I pay for. And if that's fanboyism, then I really don't know, what to say to help people change their opinions. Okay, but actually, Spyderco do have some very good knives, and all of the Spydercos I've ever had have either met or surpassed my expectations. Okay, I've never had a single problem, and I'm sure if I sent one back, they'd be more than happy to fix it or replace it. Kershaw, on the other hand, their stance on fixing or replacing knives is they would just send you out a new one. Okay, they won't want the knife back extremely quickly or anything like that and try and fix it themselves. They'll just send you out a new one. So they must be making an awful lot on each knife to be able to afford to do that, just to send you out a new one, or they must factor in a certain number that will have issues or problems and make surplus amounts of those to fulfill that. But that's just a small point. Okay, I know what I like. I get good value for money from Spyderco, I would say, and but Kershaw in particular, they've never really surpassed. They've never really blown my socks off. That might just be a UK thing. Okay, it might just be UK. You've got to pay more money for your knives. So this knife, over here, it should cost about £70. Yeah, it should cost about £70. So what's that? $100-something. Yeah, this is a half G10, half aluminium, I think. But it's a Lee Williams design. It's not speed safe, but it's got this little pusher and for flipper, and the blade. The blade is quite nice. I think it's Sandvik. I think it's a Sandvik blade steel, but bead blasted like Kershaw love to do on all their knives. It looks good on photos and on pictures and things, but in reality, I do question how much abuse they're opening their own knives up to in terms of corrosion and rust and things like that. Because my 1 ton, it probably wasn't picked up on the review, but my 1 ton that had some speckles of rust appearing on it, and I keep all my knives in the same place, so I don't know why that would be. And in here, in the OD, I think this is an OD-1. I don't think it's an OD-2. See that? See the little bit of rust there? I mean, how on earth could rust get in there? I don't use this knife for anything water based, and that wasn't there when I first bought it. And I also had a few speckles of rust there, which seemed to have disappeared. The rust bugs must have eaten that rust in the night or something, but that's gone. So there we go. But that, for me, I paid £50 for this, and for me that just didn't meet it. It's a fun knife to play with, but I just could not stomach paying £70 for this. No way. But anyway, just my opinion. I didn't quite meet my expectations on that one, I'm afraid. Sorry. And that leads me on to the Skyline. I have done a review of this. I did like it. It's a well designed knife, actually. Other than my lockup being extremely early when I flip it out, to the point that I have pushed back on the spine of the blade a few times, and it has kind of closed a little bit, to my surprise, of course. So you've just got to be careful of that lockup. But apart from that, it's pretty decent. But again, over here, it's £50. So this might be another price moaning issue, okay? But £50 is quite steep. When in America you can pay about $30 or $40 for it. So it might just be a price issue, and again, I don't know why they've done it, but it seems to me that they've bead blasted the knife as well. Kershaw, you've got a good thing going with this knife, okay? If you just up the quality of it, the scales, even the steel, put speed safe on that, you make the lockup that much tighter, you've got a good thing going, because that's a very nice blade shape, very useful, very comfortable. You could even add some jimping there, or even on the spine. Excellent, okay, design wise. But for me, for £50, I'm afraid that just didn't quite meet my expectations. I'd happily pay £30 for this, happily. Maybe 40, but 50 is just too much. Anyway, so that was my video. It's quite long. As you can see, I don't really have that many knives that haven't really met my expectations. So in this day and age, 2013, that's a good sign. Okay, that knife makers are becoming better and better at the things that they do, knives that they design and make, and that's actually a good sign. So I'm trying to leave on a positive note. Okay, and there we have it. But if you were thinking about getting any one of these knives, I hope you just take into account my comments and things. But if you want to find out some knives that did meet and surpassed my expectations, check out the other video. Okay, but anyway, thanks for bearing with me, thanks for watching, and please do rate, comment and subscribe, especially if you don't agree with any of my points on these. I do welcome that, definitely. And how much you bought them for in other countries. Alright, but there we go. Thanks for watching again, and take care.